Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on your favorite English teacher on YouTube's YouTube channel. As the title of today's video suggests, today I will be providing you with a lesson focused on 15 highly practical and common English adjectives that if you know, your English is amazing and excellent. Are you ready to learn them? Of course you are, so let's get started. The first English adjective that if you know, you can claim that your English is amazing and excellent is bodacious. 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 What is the meaning of bodacious? Bodacious means excellent, wonderful, amazing. So instead of using the word excellent, you can use a more formal equivalent and say bodacious. Bodacious. So bodacious means excellent. An example: people are becoming more and more interested in my bodacious videos. People are becoming more and more interested in my bodacious videos. People are becoming more and more interested in my bodacious videos, which means people are becoming more and more interested in my excellent and amazing videos. So the first adjective, bodacious, which means amazing and excellent. The second adjective is ostentatious. 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 I know it looks confusing and complex, but what does it mean? What is the meaning of ostentatious? It's got two meanings. The first meaning is when something is described as being ostentatious, it is expensive in a way that it's been designed to make its owner look rich. So when something is ostentatious, it is expensive in a way that it's been designed to make its owner, the person that possesses it or the person that owns it, look rich. Ostentatious. An example: he always goes to parties with his ostentatious watches. He always goes to parties with his ostentatious watches. He always goes to parties with his ostentatious watches. Which means he always goes to parties with those expensive watches of his that are so expensive that make him look rich. So, ostentatious. The first meaning, something expensive that has been designed in a way that shows its owner is rich, or emphasizes the idea that the one who owns it or possesses it is rich. The second meaning of ostentatious is a person or someone that always likes to show everyone that they're rich. So when we describe someone as being ostentatious, we're trying to say that they behave in a way that they want to show everyone that they're rich, they're wealthy, they got a lot of money. Ostentatious, so it's got two meanings. The first was something expensive that has been designed in a way that shows its owner is very rich. And the second meaning is someone who likes to behave in a way that, they show everyone that they're wealthy and rich. Let me provide you with an example of the second use. Men look ostentatious most when they spend time with the women that they're attracted to. Men look ostentatious most when they spend time with the women that they're attracted to. Men look ostentatious most when they spend time with the women that they're attracted to. Which means men look ostentatious most when they spend time with the women that they like, with the women that they, are going to start a relationship with. Which means men like to show the women that they're attracted to or they want to start a relationship with that how rich they are or they're very rich, right? Ostentatious. Alright, now let's get to the third adjective, which is ineffectual. 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 What is the meaning of ineffectual? When we describe someone or something as ineffectual, what we mean is that they lack the ability, the confidence, or the capability to get things done. So when we say someone is ineffectual, it means they don't have the ability or the confidence or authority to get things done. So ineffectual means lacking the ability, confidence, and authority to do things or get things done. Examples: women can't rely on ineffectual men. Women can't rely on ineffectual men, which means women cannot rely on the men that don't have the ability or the confidence to get things done. Our ineffectual managers will lead the company into failure. Our ineffectual managers will lead the company into failure, which means our managers that lack the ability, confidence, and authority to get things done will definitely lead the company into failure. The adjective number 4, that if you know, your English is amazing, which is gregarious, 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 gregarious. When we say someone is gregarious, it means they're sociable, outgoing, and they prefer to spend time with others, or they enjoy spending time and socializing with others. So gregarious refers to someone who's outgoing and sociable and really enjoys socializing and spending time with other people. Gregarious. An example: the key to success in business is having gregarious personal qualities. The key to success in business is having gregarious personal qualities. The key to success in business is having gregarious personal qualities, which means if you're someone who enjoys being with others more than being alone, or if you're someone who enjoys socializing and spending time with others more than being alone, if you're someone who enjoys talking to people and communicating with them in every way possible, then you do have the personal quality needed to meet with success in business. Moving on to the next adjective, that if you know, your English is bodacious. What is the meaning of bodacious? Bodacious was the first adjective of today's video, which means excellent. So moving on to the next English adjective, that if you know, your English is bodacious or excellent, which is spellbinding, 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 spellbinding. What is the meaning of a spellbinding? When something is a spellbinding, it is extremely interesting and it holds your attention for a long period of time. So when something is described as being spellbinding, it is extremely interesting and it captures your attention, it attracts your attention to itself and holds your attention for a long period of time. An example: my students love my spellbinding English lessons, which means my students are in love with my extremely interesting English lessons, the lessons that hold their attention for a long period of time, the extremely interesting lessons. So spellbinding. Let's get to the next English adjective, that if you know, your English is bodacious or excellent, which is suggestive, suggestive, suggestive. Suggestive, what is the meaning of suggestive? When we say something is suggestive of something, it means something is similar to something. So suggestive of something means similar to something. An example: her behavior is suggestive of her mother. Her behavior is suggestive of her mother. Her behavior is suggestive of her mother, which means her behavior is similar to her mother. The next adjective, that if you know, your English is bodacious or excellent, is avaricious, 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 avaricious. What is the meaning of avaricious? Avaricious refers to the quality of someone having a strong desire for money, possessions, and success. So when we say someone is avaricious, what we mean is that they have a lot of desire. They have a strong desire for making money, possessions, success, and achieving things. So someone who's avaricious is very determined to make a lot of money, meet with success, and acquire things and, take possession of things, or they like possessions. So avaricious. An example: his avaricious character has made him a billionaire. His avaricious character has made him a billionaire. His avaricious character has made him a billionaire, which means the fact that he has a strong desire for money, possessions, and success has made him a billionaire. The next English adjective, that if you know, your English is bodacious or excellent, is assiduous, 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 assiduous. Yeah, you heard me right, assiduous. What does assiduous mean? Assiduous means very careful to make sure that you're doing everything properly, accurately, and correctly. So when we say someone is assiduous, what we mean is that they're very careful to make sure that they're doing things properly, accurately, and correctly, or as properly and accurately as they have planned to do so. Assiduous. An example: the fact that he's assiduous in managing his business has made him a billionaire. The fact that he's assiduous in managing his business has made him a billionaire. The fact that he's assiduous in managing his business has made him a billionaire, which means the fact that he's very careful to make sure that he's doing things properly, accurately, and correctly has made him a billionaire. Getting to the next English adjective, that if you know your English is bodacious or excellent. I'm just repeating the word bodacious because I just want to make sure that this word is being learned by you and is sticking in your mind. So, the next English adjective that if you know your English is bodacious or excellent or wonderful is capricious, 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 capricious. Capricious? What is the meaning of capricious? When we say someone is capricious, what we mean is that they're likely to change their mind quickly, suddenly, and unexpectedly, and they're always likely to behave in an unexpected way. So, a capricious person is someone who changes their mind quickly and is not as stable as they should be, and they behave in an unexpected way. Capricious. An example. It is impossible to rely on the decisions of a capricious man with a moody mindset. It is impossible to rely on the decisions of a capricious man with a moody mindset. It is impossible to rely on the decisions of a capricious man with a moody mindset, which means it is impossible to rely and depend on the decisions made by a man who changes his mind quickly and unexpectedly, or who's likely to behave in an unexpected way with a moody mindset. What kind of a terrible combination is this? It's a recipe for disaster and trouble. Proceeding to the next English adjective, that if you know your English is bodacious or excellent, which is parsimonious, 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 parsimonious. What is the meaning of parsimonious? Someone who's described as being parsimonious is not willing to spend money at all, or doesn't like to spend money at all, or is extremely stingy. So parsimonious means extremely stingy. When you're parsimonious, you don't like to spend money at all, or you're not willing to spend money at all. You just like to save your money, and you do your best not to spend even a little bit of it, or any of it, any amount of it. Parsimonious. An example. How can you spend the rest of your life with such a parsimonious person? How can you spend the rest of your life with such a parsimonious person? How can you spend the rest of your life with such a parsimonious person? Which means, how can you spend the rest of your life with such a stingy person, with such a person that does not like to spend even a little bit of their money, or any amount of their money, or who just likes to keep their money forever and not to spend even a little bit of it? The next English adjective that if you know your English is bodacious, wonderful, amazing, and fantastic, which is fortuitous, 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 fortuitous. What does fortuitous mean? What do you mean by saying fortuitous? Fortuitous means random or happening by chance or accidentally in a way that a positive result is produced. An example. Meeting my wife is the most fortuitous thing that happened in my life. Meeting my wife is the most fortuitous thing that happened in my life. Meeting my wife is the most fortuitous thing that happened in my life, which means meeting my wife is the most accidental, random thing that happened in my life that produced a positive result, which is our marriage, or which is being, together, or enjoying our time together. Fortuitous. The next English adjective is haphazard, 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 haphazard. Haphazard? What does it mean? When something is haphazard, it happens or is done in an unexpected way, in a way that is not planned, organized, or managed. If you want to conduct business in a haphazard way, you won't get anywhere. If you want to conduct business in a haphazard way, you won't get anywhere. If you want to conduct business in a haphazard way, you won't get anywhere. Which means if you want to do business in a way that is not planned, organized, and managed, then you will not be able to meet with success. The next English adjective is recalcitrant, 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 recalcitrant. What is the meaning of recalcitrant? When we say someone is recalcitrant, it means they're obstinate and stubborn, and they refuse to do what they are told to do or what they have been told to do, even after they got punished or even after they've been punished, which means no matter how hard you try to punish someone, they are so stubborn and obstinate that they will refuse to do what you ask them to do or what you tell them to do. So that is the meaning of recalcitrant, right? She will never listen to you. Don't you know how recalcitrant she is? She will never listen to you. Don't you know how recalcitrant she is? She will never listen to you. Don't you know how recalcitrant she is? Which means she will never listen to you. Don't you know how stubborn and obstinate she is? And don't you know that she will refuse to do what you have asked her and told her to do even after she's been punished? Don't you know that she will not do what you're telling her to do? Getting to the next English adjective, that if you know your English is bodacious, which is unequivocal, 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 unequivocal. What is the meaning of unequivocal? Unequivocal refers to something that is extremely clear, transparent, tangible, and understandable. Something that does not raise any doubts, something that does not lead to any doubts or does not result in any doubts. Unequivocal. An example. My answer will be an unequivocal yes. My answer will be an unequivocal yes, which means my answer will be an obvious yes. My answer will be a clear yes. The next English adjective that if you know your English is bodacious is transcendent, 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 transcendent. What is the meaning of transcendent? When we say something is transcendent, what we mean is that it goes beyond any ordinary limits, or it is beyond all types of ordinary limits. An example. We were shocked by his transcendent performance on a stage. We were shocked by his transcendent performance on a stage. We were shocked by his transcendent performance on stage, which means we were shocked by his performance that went beyond all the ordinary limits and was exceptional. Alright guys, that's about all. So in today's video, you learned 15 English adjectives that if you know your English is fantastic, amazing, exceptional, and wonderful. Now, what I kindly want you to do is like this video in support of the growth of this YouTube channel. Subscribe if you haven't done so yet, and leave some positive comments down below. I'll be back soon.